Spinning wheel, go round. Hey, good morning. This is Jenny Lee Hodgins. If you can hear me, please plop in a hashtag live and I can hear you. Let me know that you can hear my audio and I'm coming through okay. Just going to wait a second here before I get started. I think we're coming through. And as always, when you join me, hashtag live it or hashtag replay it, and would love to hear if any of this resonates or if you've got any questions or comments. Please throw those at me at any time during this presentation or even after if you catch it later. I always follow up, to check in and see if there's any way I can be more helpful and to kind of, bring you more valuable information. I always go back through and check it at the end because sometimes I don't see those comments in the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, at any time, please feel free to drop a comment or a question or a hashtag, AHA, AHA, if anything resonates, or if you'd like to learn something more. Today's topic is, how can we access a more mindful state of living? This is not what you think. So, I really wanted to I have an announcement to make today as well, but I wanted to bring my direct, bold self here to bring a message that we die how we live. And yeah, I know my topic is supposed to be how we access a more mindful state of living, but hear me out here. Basically, the way I look at it, living well and dying well go together like PB&J or a ball and glove or even fish and water. And here's the silver lining to this seemingly really dark topic. There is a huge benefit that comes from accepting and addressing our own mortality. We die how we live. What I mean by that is that we can access such a more mindful state of living in the present with a sense of relief and peace of mind once we actually grapple with the issue of death. And none of us will escape that experience. We all go through loss, and every single one of us, the thing that we have in common is that we're all going to die at some point. And the reality is, none of us have control over how or when or where or what in most cases. And honestly, this is what I've learned through personal tragedies and through helping others through those situations as an unofficial celebrant. And if you don't know what that is, basically when people didn't have any kind of end of life plan and a tragedy occurred, I stepped up and I helped them figure out everything, from how to deal with the remains, how to deal with the payment stuff, how to set up a goodbye ritual. Often I led those rituals by facilitating as an MC or a presenter or a musician or giving eulogies or, coordinating people for the event. Because in those situations, when there's no plan, people tend to not be able to function well. So that's what I've done, and that's how I came to what I do now. And this is why I feel that planning for end of life is so important, because I've been there. And it's a way to relieve the burden from your own mind and the extra expense or suffering that you may cause, surviving loved ones. It's also an incredible way to leave a loving legacy. It's a way of leaving your compassionate mark on others and the planet with earth-friendly choices. It really saddens me when people don't address this and they don't have an end-of-life plan for whatever reason. They think they're too young to think about it, or they think they don't have time to figure it out right now, or they don't think that it's that important. But having been in that situation, it is important. This impacts surviving loved ones well beyond what you can imagine. So that's why I advocate as an end-of-life pre-planner. I'm a creative memorial planning coach. But what I do that's different is I advocate for alternatives to traditional corporate things. And I'll get into that in a second. But I just want to really, kind of awaken you to the idea that having an end-of-life plan really also impacts your state of life and how you live mindfully, because you can relax. You've done your best, you've got it mapped out, you've made that compassionate cause, and you've left your legacy through those compassionate actions. And I want to say again, I'm not your typical pre-planner for end-of-life planning, because I always advocate against corporate traditional funeral customs. Why? Well, there are many, many benefits of that, and I go into that in great detail in my creative memorial planning group and within my program, Explore, Choose, and Plan Your Creative Memorial. So definitely, if you want to learn more about all of that and what I do, come and check it out. Come join Creative Memorial Planning Group. I'll plop the link in a second. And also, on this note, I'm going to shift into my announcement is that I'd like to invite you to go ahead and join Creative Memorial Planning Group, because I'll be hosting an event the last week of October, October 26th through the 30th, called the Sunset Summit. And you're going to learn about these alternatives to traditional funerals and end-of-life plans that are far more gentle, both to the earth and your pocketbook and to your loved, sorry, that's three things, and to your loved ones. They're cost reducing, they're comforting for your loved ones, they're planet friendly, and they leave your loving legacy in a very personalized way. And I know a lot of people don't know that these alternatives are even options. So I really, really want to encourage you to come and check it out. The Sunset Summit, also, I'm excited because it's going to feature a variety of experts. They're going to be offering ways for preparing and transforming your golden chapter of life with these gentler, personalized, cost-reducing, earth-friendly, and meaningful end-of-life services and support, as well as much more. For example, by the way, if this is resonating or this is something you want to learn about, please plop in a hashtag aha. Let me know you're here with a hashtag live or hashtag replay. If any of this is of interest to you or you want to learn something, just let me know. Send me some information or drop me a comment or a question. In the Sunset Summit, which I'm very excited to be hosting within the Creative Memorial Planning Group the last week of October, you're going to hear multiple live presentations throughout each day through the 5-day event. You're going to hear from people that educate on death and making it a more normal, natural conversation and help you find ways to start that conversation toward the aim of getting your end-of-life planning done. You'll hear from transition doulas, and these are people who I strongly encourage you to think about incorporating into your end-of-life plan. They're going to talk to you exactly about what that looks like, what kind of services they provide, how you can set that up, all that stuff. There will also be grief therapists, hypnotherapists, and coaches presenting wonderfully helpful, supportive information about that. And just from my own perspective, I really, really value the support of a grief coach or a grief therapist, because when, as you may know, my brother was tragically killed in 2004, hospice provides, free grief coaching for a period of time. And they were incredibly instrumental and helpful with my own family's ability to absorb and use that as a way to get closer as a family and to heal. So I cannot praise grief support and therapy enough, just from my own experience through that. You'll also gain in the Sunset Summit, I'm going to have presenters talking about different kinds of educational information on, again, living fully, dying well, support for caregivers, and the director and manager of a natural burial site that's on a 41-acre conservation sanctuary. These are great options for you to consider in terms of thinking ahead for your end-of-life plans and what kind of ways you want to deal with handling the remains, for example. And as I mentioned, you're going to learn much more about more earth-friendly, gentler alternatives to traditional end-of-life plans. And just an FYI, in case you don't know, and this is why I partly why I do what I do as a creative memorial planning coach, all of these alternatives that are explored in the Sunset Summit and what I do through my Explore, Choose, and Plan Your Creative Memorial program, they're all so much more cost reducing. They're so much simpler. They're so much more personalized and gentle. So I really urge you to come and check it out. Come join my group. I'm actually going to plop the link in here if I can. I'm not that technologically skilled. I'm going to try my best, just so that you know. There, I think I did it. How you can join. And also, please help me spread the word about the Sunset Summit. And please invite anybody you feel would really benefit from learning more about these alternatives to traditional corporate funerals and end-of-life planning, and how to leave a loving legacy with with less or even zero corporate or religious involvement. All of that will be, covered in my group, as well as the Sunset Summit. I'm really excited about this Sunset Summit because it's only available in Creative Memorial Planning Group, October 26th through the 30th. It's going to, feature a variety of really fabulous, wonderful experts offering ways for preparing and transforming your golden chapter of life with these much more gentle, cost reducing, personalized, meaningful end of life services and support. So just all you have to do is click the link to join the group and show up in there, and you'll be seeing more about this event throughout the next couple of weeks. Just wanted to bring this message to let you know about that. I always hit you a little bit, directly with this message because I've been there, been through it. I know how important this is, and I just want you to benefit from it. So if you got any questions, ask away. Now's the time. Whether you catch this live or on replay, go ahead and ask. Please tag others below. Let them know about this message, and let them know about the Sunset Summit coming up. And let's face it, that's going to benefit everyone because nothing's more certain than death and taxes. So thank you so much for joining today. I'm going to check, see if you've got any questions. See if I can manipulate this thing. And if not, I will come back as well later to run through and check if there's anything here that anybody has any questions about or concerns, or even plop in any topics you'd like to have covered during the Sunset Summit or within my own lives. I would love to more directly address any concerns or questions you have about this topic. So if that's it, I don't see any questions plopping in right now. And I did see a couple people joining me live. So don't forget, #replay. Let me know you've been here. Any questions or comments, plop them in for me. And I'm really looking forward to the Sunset Summit and hearing from these wonderful, compassionate experts on this topic. And I hope you join us as soon as possible. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining today.